Yes, children, now we will discuss about the bar graph. We have discussed in our previous classes also. The data can be represented using bar graph. So it is display of information using bars of uniform. Uniform means equal, same width and their height being proportional to respective value. For example, if we are drawing a bar graph, this is our horizontal axis, this is our vertical axis. We call it as x-axis, we call it as y-axis. Here it will be represents any year or any value, and numbers will be represented on y-axis. We call it as 0, 50. I'm talking about any general number, 100, 150, 200, 250. So the width should be same. If we are drawing along x-axis here, just see, I have taken a width of 1 centimeter. You have to also take either 1 centimeter or half centimeter, that's your wish. Here represents 2003 to 4, then represents 2004 to 5, then represent 2006 to 7. Now for example, if in the year 2003 and 4 the number of students is 150, like this, bars should be of uniform width. We will join. In 2004 it is 2200 students. Then we can draw the graph as it is. See, the width is same. Also in the bar graph, in the bars width is same, and the corresponding height, it represents the corresponding numbers or corresponding values. Clear? For example, in 2006 it is 50, then the bar graph will be represented like this. So it is the display of information using bars of the uniform width and height being proportional to the respective value. From the bar graph we can find any value and we can compare whatsoever will be asked. We can find the value of range, we can find the value of number of students, or whichever configuration is given to us, we can find comparison value also. Now next we will study about the double bar graph. That we have discussed in 7th class also. Double bar graph shows two sets of data simultaneously. It is useful for comparison of the data. Again, it will be drawn with the same way. For example, we are drawing, it is our x-axis, it is our y-axis. Now along the x-axis, again if we have years, see, it will be starting from origin and height being proportional to the respective value, 0, 10, 20, 30. I have just resumed. If one value is like this 20, if other value is like 10, other value is like 10, then the graph will be like this. It will be the double bar graph. Clear? Now again leave this space. If it is 30, then for the second, if it is 20, then you have to join the graph like this. From here we can compare the data easily. First one will be shown by dotted one or lines, and second one blank one. That's your wish, whichever way you want to use. So it is the bar graph showing two sets of data simultaneously, and it is useful for the comparison of the data. From the double bar graph, we can also compare previous year, next year, or different years data. Clear, children? Now, next, how to arrange the data. Organization of the data. Data can be arranged in different way. Now, the data we collect, it is not organized. It is unorganized data. Data collected initially in an unorganized form. We call it as raw data, which is not in any organized form, means we can check from the data as well. We have to organize this data using meaningful intervals, and we do it by using frequency distribution table. Frequency distribution table, as the name suggests, we need to know the frequency. And what is meant by frequency? It is the number of times a particular entry occurs. Frequency is the number of times a particular entry occurs. And to find it, we use tally marks. And in tally marks we use Roman number 1, as we will just discuss it here. If a children like bar 1 chocolate 10 times, then you can name any other chocolate. Milky Bar, six times. Munch, 4 times. Clear? Munch 4 times. Yellow Bar 3 times. Now we have to draw the frequency distribution table of this. How we will draw? First of all, we will write here chocolates, then tally marks, then number of children liking. Chocolates is bar 1, then Milky Bar, then Munch, then Yellow Bar. You can write any name. I am just for your reference. Now number of children for bar 1 is given to be 10, Milky Bar is given to be 6, means 6 children like it. For Munch 4 children, and Yellow Bar 3. Now bar 1, for example, it is given to be 10. For tally marks we will use Roman number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. When we have to write the 5, it will be a slanting line from first to the last one. It will be 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. For Milky Bar 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 5. Then one number it will be 6. And 4 it will be represented by 4 lines. 3 it will be represented by 3 lines. In this same way we can use the data and extract the information. So frequency distribution table, it is the information using the tally marks. We have different quantities, different children liking, and we have make the tally mark. Clear children? This is how we have organized the data using frequency distribution table. Now we will also understand in this chapter about the probabilities circle graph. Now circle graph is also very important. Circle graph, or we call it as pie chart. We have discussed in our previous classes also. Okay children, what is meant by circle graph or the pie chart? Okay, circle graph is known as pie chart. It shows relationship between a whole and its part. And here we divide whole circle into various parts. For example, this is our circle. If same number of boys and girls are there, then it will be 50% boys and 50% girls. Clear children? And the central angle is always 360 degree. And we know angle at the center is 360 degree. According to percentage and according to the angle, we can divide the circular graph. This angle is 60 degree, this angle is 70. I am giving you the rough information. This angle is 30 degree, left out angle will be minus this 360 degree, we can find it. Clear children? So this one will be 200 like that. So we will draw the circle graph as well as pie chart. And each sector is proportional to the information or the activity represented. Now here also we will understand about the probability. What is meant by probability? Chances or happening of an event. Probability means chances or happening of an event, and it is given by the formula probability is equals to number of favorable cases over total number of cases. Number of favorable cases or total number of cases or the outcomes. Now what is meant by outcome? Outcomes means what result can we draw from a given data. Now for example, if I toss a coin, then what are tossing of a coin? What will be the possible outcomes? Possible outcome will be either it will be a head or it will be a tail. Either head or either tail. Only two outcomes. When we toss two coins, When we toss two coins, either on both the coins it will be head, or on both the coins it will be tail, or on the first coin it will be head, on the second it will be a tail, or on the first it will be a tail and on the second it will be a head. So there will be 4 outcomes, total of 4 outcomes, and number of favorable outcomes we can find accordingly. Again I am giving you the hint of dice. When we throw a dice, what will be the total outcomes? Either number 1, either number 2, either number 3, either number 4, either number 5, or either number 6. So total outcomes will be only 6 when we toss a dice. The dice I think you have seen in playing games also. So total possible outcomes will be only 6. Clear, children? Now, value of probability always lies between 0 and 1. Zero and 1. 0 is always less than equals to 1, less than 1. Probability always lies between 0 and 1. For example, if an event is happening, there must be some probability. Like the sure event. Sure event is that is always going to happen. For example, sun rises in east. That is true. So probability of sure event will always equals to 1. Unsure event, that is not likely to happen. Sun rises in west, ये कभी भी नहीं होगा. So probability will be equals to 0. Clear, children? So but probability, so here it is, sorry, P. Probability, P stands for probability. Probabilities always lies between 0 and 1. Clear? So that is sure event or unsure event whose probability will always be equals to 0. That is not likely to happen. So I hope this topic is clear. Probability, chances or happening of an event. Probability always lies between 0 and 1. Probability formula is number of favorable cases over total number of cases or total number of outcomes. When we toss a coin, there are only 2 outcomes. When we toss 2 coins, there are 4 outcomes. For a dice, there are total of 6 outcomes. For sure event, probability always equals to 1. For unsure event, that will not happen, probability always 0. For example, I will also give you one more case. When we throw a dice, what is the probability of getting a number 10? Probability of getting a number 10. For example, total cases outcome is 6. Can we get number 10 with throw a dice? I am saying only a single dice. 1, 2, 3, 6 total cases are there. So no. So probability will be equals to 0. So this is introduction. Now we will start exercise 5.1. Thank you, children.